Man, get this right here. Titus 1:16. Some people claim they know God, but they deny Him by the way they live. They are detestable and disobedient, worthless for doing anything good. How many people do you know who claim to know God? It says, but they deny Him by the way they live. Man, let me tell you this. I went through town the other day, got the tins put in the car. I was jamming, boy. I was rolling through town, driving around like I was 18 again. 39 now, right? Got the car, put the tins in it, rolling through town. I seen this dude that I grew up with, right? I pull up on him, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that kind of felt pretty good. Yeah, but I seen the dude, and I come to realize in my thoughts, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, I really don't fit in anymore. I don't fit in anywhere I go, matter of fact. Where the heck can I go? I don't fit in anywhere. Do you know how hard it is to actually find people who actually care about Jesus and care about life? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are not living for some kind of idol, whether it's some kind of drug or whatever it might be, who are just going this straight and narrow path. It becomes a pretty narrow and lonely path. It really does. Because no matter where you go, someone is always, there's always something hidden behind of what they're doing. I can't even go around a lot of women without smiling and laughing and having a good time and then expecting something else. Like, it's really hard, man, because you think people actually like you and they really don't. It's either to get something from you because they need help, but they refuse to help themselves. And it's hard, man, it's hard to even say this because I was that same person. I was the same person who needed help but refused to help himself. Until Jesus found me, because let's be honest, I didn't find him. He found me and I had to be obedient. But I seen this dude and all the childhood memories come up of us, being together. And I could see he looked like he was pretty high. And I could just, it's hard to explain, but with the Spirit of the Lord, I could just sense the energy. I can get around a lot of people and sense the animosity in the air of like it's crazy, man, like of how they're feeling, right? So, he'd go 1 minute to laughing and the next minute he looked all serious, like, you know what I mean? It was like the demon in him was like coming out. But it's a really hard and lonely path. And I got to riding through town and I'm thinking to myself, and it's crazy how people be releasing words about my thoughts. Sometimes I like to keep them to myself, you know what I mean? But it was something else, because I began to realize on this walk that everywhere I go, I pretty much don't fit in anywhere. And that's fine. You know what I mean? It does get pretty lonely by yourself. You know what I mean? Every man desires a woman desires a man. But the problem is not getting a woman. The problem is finding a woman who really loves Jesus and lives by the word. And yeah, I don't see that anywhere. Some women are talking about finding men with a lot of money. And the other ones, are just living in the world. And I don't want any parts of that. I know what, destruction does to you. But, so I guess it's going to be just me and the Lord, you know, as the rest of 2025 unfolds. Yeah, but, you know, and I'm praying for the dude, you know what I mean? Because I don't like to see anybody struggle with addiction. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people who, they reach out for help, but they don't really want to help themselves. You know what I mean? This is the thing, if I went to the Lord for help and he gave me a dream about something, or I read his word and it said how to live, if I went the exact opposite way, I really didn't want help. You know, and when you got the government in America who provides, you know, your food and your housing and your drugs and everything else you need, you know, most people, you know, are not going to change. I'm a realist, you know what I mean? I realize that, and it's a sad state. It really is. But, you know, I am extremely grateful for what the Lord has done for me. And I look forward to the future, you know, and I pray that the Lord will soon bring in people into my life who actually care about life, you know what I mean, who are willing to go through the pain and the struggle and the tears. Not to say that it's going to be like that forever, you know, but not to say that everything's going to be peachy all the time, you know what I mean? Like, things will, you know, as we hit into 2030 or whatever, you know what I mean? The dream about two suns, you know, I believe there will be some kind of asteroid, you know, so I'm praying for good people to be, maybe I'll meet them along the way somewhere. The Lord will bring them in. But yeah, so I don't fit in. My name's Jonathan. I'm walking this by myself, it looks like. No matter what people think, no matter, I went around this one guy, I ain't gonna say any names, but I was sitting with him, and one of the first things he did was, see, people can see, they can see the fruit, they can see the different person, they can see the glow on the skin, they can see it, but rather than, you know, encourage you and say, well, God bless you for, you know, thank Jesus for changing you. Rather than doing all that, one of the first things they do is bring up one of your past mistakes. And I don't know, it may be an insecurity, you know what I'm saying? It could be a lot of things, but, you know, I'm praying for them. But, yeah, so I don't fit in. Love y'all in Jesus' name.